content is
So
run
there are
by
a few
bunch of
trends I think I would
bankers,
highlight. One,
and
so far
tools
for
can help make
banking.
quick.
We recently removed Branda's Global Equity from our Fund Analyst Picks list. Here with me today is Nick Dedis, who is the lead analyst covering Branda's Global Equity. So Nick, talk to us. What's going on at Branda's?
Yeah, the past 4 years have been particularly painful for unit holders in Branda's Global Equity. There have been a few things at play. It is an unhedged portfolio, so as a result, the strength of the Canadian dollar has hurt performance. But really, the two major things have been an ill-timed foray into U.S. financials ahead of the global credit crisis, as well as fairly defensive positioning at a point in time, March 2009, really, when the market began to rebound.
So clearly performance has been poor, but presumably there's more behind our decision to remove the fund from the picks list. What else is going on at play here?
Yeah, it's definitely not just a function of performance. It's rather the decisions that led to the results. And so, part of it is we know that Branda's was initially hesitant moving into financials, but again, they're not the only firm that had made that error in judgment. Mm-hmm. But more so, I think what we were surprised was their fairly defensive positioning at a point in time where we would have expected them to become a little more aggressive at the market bottom.
Yeah, I mean, Branda's is really known as a firm that isn't afraid to go against the grain. They'll buy some names that make a lot of portfolio managers' stomach turn, and the market collapse was characterized, or was really led by those firms with the weak balance sheets, that didn't have the same quality. And the ensuing rebound was also led by those same firms. And so I guess what you're saying there is we would have hoped that as the market rebounded, they would have piled more into those, taken some profits from other positions and bought into those dirtier names. So that was disappointing. It's hard not to feel like they maybe got a little gun shy as the markets really were. It was a point of extreme pessimism in the market. So there's probably a lot of investors who own this fund already and hear about the fund being removed from the list. What should an investor do?
Well, it's definitely not a recommendation to just go out and sell it blindly. I mean, the point is that, put simply, there's still merits to this fund. There are merits to the investment strategy, which has proven successful over longer periods, and other mandates as well. Branda's is a firm with a strong investment culture, quite transparent, so there are things to like about it. It's just that these decisions throughout this period in time have given us pause. Yeah,
so just to sort of hammer that point home, let's be clear, the Fund Analyst Pick list is the list of our absolute favorites, the names that we have the most conviction in. And a fund that doesn't make the list or is removed from the list doesn't mean it's an awful fund or one that you have to run out and sell. It's just not quite at that top echelon, and some of these decisions they made gave us pause for concern. So I would want to stress that investors should evaluate their own situation, the tax consequences of selling, and what other options there are out there. So this isn't necessarily a recommendation to just, as Nick said, blindly sell the fund.